With the Los Angeles Times, I'm Lindsey Thiry. This is Gary Klein. We're at USC training camp. The Trojans wrapping up a full week of practices, and as you can probably tell, it's a little bit warm. Temperatures hovering in the 90s. Gary Klein didn't like how his hat looked on camera, so in a bit of a high maintenance move, he took it off. Some of these players out here today, though, not high maintenance. They're from parts of this country where this actually feels nice to them. John Plattenberg said, coming from Texas, that this heat is nothing. He's used to 100 degrees and humidity. I know you spoke with a few others, Gary. What did they have to say?
Well, Adoree Jackson was also commenting that this was nothing compared to where he comes from in Illinois. They had a freezy, slushy truck come in after practice.
Looked delicious.
And Jackson was saying that, guys like Leon McQuay, guys like John Plattenberg, as you mentioned, who come from some really hot weather states in the summer, this was nothing for them.
Nothing for them. So turning gears to the Bryce Dixon situation. It's been kind of an ongoing saga now. Nothing new for USC during training camp. There always seems to be one story that's out there that has not a lot to do with what goes on the football field.
That's right, and we haven't even got to salute to Troy yet, which of course was the big day last year. So
zing.
Yeah. So what's happening with Dixon, at least according to his attorney, is he may pursue a court order to get Bryce Dixon back onto the team next week. That remains to be seen if that happens, but that was kind of the plan going into the weekend. At this point, Dixon can re-enroll at USC. His scholarship is restored, but as the school had announced last week, they are not going to let him represent the school as a student athlete, so we'll see what happens with that.
Moving to the field, Justin Davis, well, I guess we're not moving to the field because he hasn't been on the field. The returning tailback has been sidelined after the first practice with what Steve Sarkisian said is a hamstring issue. Gary, how much of an issue is this going forward?
Well, it's still early in training camp, so we've seen guys over the years who are banged up a little bit early come back and they're fine by the opener. With a hamstring, with a running back, we've also seen some recent history here where that just lingers and lingers, and I think that is, if Sarkisian has a concern, it's that this may linger, so he wants him to just get back to 100%. In the interim, I think the upside of that is that Trey Madden has looked very, very good, and as you mentioned, the three freshman running backs have also performed well.
They have. Another injury concern came up during Saturday's practice. Cornerback Kevon Seymour started the workouts and then he hobbled to the sideline where he remained through the rest of the session. What's concerning about that for the Trojans is that secondary is already pretty young and pretty thin.
Right. Seymour, the senior in that group, him going down, we'll see if he comes back tomorrow. Sarkisian said through a school spokesman that he had just banged up his knee and it was nothing serious. But again, they are not deep at that position. That should allow guys like Iman Marshall to get more reps, but we'll have to see if Kevon bounces back from that.
And as Gary mentioned, that was said through a school spokesman because Steve Sarkisian wasn't available to the media today. He got a day off.
Yeah, he did. I know. It can be pretty taxing talking to us, I'm sure, every day, but he was not available.
I think it's awesome talking to us, but that's just me. All right, that will do it for this USC Now progress report on the Trojans. Be sure to keep it on the Los Angeles Times for the latest from training camp.